Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Rise of Tryhards. I'm going to continue a series today. I started yesterday. I called it the Daily Five. I just went through five different commander pairing, well, five different teams in Sunset Canyon. I did that yesterday and showed you how I would attack that, and it was pretty cool. Thanks for everyone who watched it. I am so grateful for each of you who are watching the videos, who are subscribing, who are telling your friends, who are pasting my videos in your Alliance chat. I really appreciate it. I am blown away by the support and encouragement. Thank you so much for doing that. Please continue to like and subscribe and watch videos. But yesterday, I went through some Sunset Canyon. Today, I was thinking, Logic Bank reached out to me and it's like, hey, I loved your video, which, man, that warms my heart. He said, what if you go into Lost Canyon? He knocked me down. Let's see. So I put my marches at 1, so that I intentionally got knocked down by Logic Bank down into, what place am I now? Place 25, because in Lost Canyon, you can only challenge the players ahead of you. In Sunset Canyon, you can fight, all over the place, and in Sunset Canyon, I showed you yesterday how players, from all levels were initiating challenges to me, and I was getting free points. Sometimes that doesn't work out for me. Like this guy fought me when I had 4 marches and he has a stronger team. But then I just fight him back and I get the points back. But in this case, he was lower in the rankings than me, and I was still able to fight him, which you can do in Sunset Canyon. In Lost Canyon, you cannot do that. All that to say, Lost Canyon game mode is a little bit different, but in picking challenges. So I had to get knocked down if I want to fight anyone below me. So I have all these players that I can now fight. I thought it would be fun. There. I thought it would be fun if I just go and look at the most powerful players in my 4-player group, because we're in KVK right now, and find out which ones of them are playing and which ones I can target. So Mr. Saeed is a really powerful player. He is 118 million power. I can't beat him. His Minamoto has full legendary equipment. It's spectacular. I can't touch him. However, I have seen this guy. He is shown up in the tournament too. He has 99.2 million power, and he is in Lost Canyon. So I'm going to go fight him. And also, I have been fighting him. He's in my kingdom. And I learned, this is my first KVK, I learned you're not supposed to fight people in Lost Canyon who are in your kingdom. So I'm not going to fight him. But this guy is also in Lost Canyon. He's from '07. He's got 63 million power. So I'm going to fight both of them. And also, I need to refight. If I want to take back my spot that I was before in Lost Canyon, I need to, I have 3 challenges, and I need to save one of those to get back into 3rd place, because every hour, I don't know, maybe every minute, I don't know, however long you're in each spot, you get more resources, and then in the shop, there's all this awesome stuff. There's these blueprints and materials and stars for the points that you get from being in a high placement in Lost Canyon. So I got to get back into 3rd place. So I'm also going to fight this guy who is higher power than me, this guy or girl, who's higher power than me, but not super high power. So I did prepare, again, a PowerPoint. We've got to fight him in order. Rectum here is in 5th place. If I fight him, I will immediately jump to 5th place, and then I won't be able to fight anybody below him. If I were to fight this guy again, I would immediately jump into 7th place. I wouldn't be able to fight anyone below 7th. So I can only fight people above me in 25th. However, this guy, the number 2 power in the land, is ahead of me. So I'll fight him first. Let's just look at his team. Yeah, all right, let me pop over to the PowerPoint because it's a little bit easier to see, and I have prepared some notes. So when you look at this team, what do you see? That's what I'm going to ask every time I approach a new team. I see a giant waste of stars. YSG, and I see 1, 2, 3 expertise, level 60 legendaries. I mean, that's what whales do, whales do their whaling. And 1, 2, 3, let's see. It's just a lot of legendaries and a lot of stars went into this, and I feel like, and whales are going to use stars. That's totally fine, but I still feel like it's a waste to put a level 60 secondary commander. Remember, secondary commanders do not need to be level 60. And YSG is an awesome secondary. I also think Ethelfled is an awesome secondary. And if you use them as secondary commanders, you only have to level them up to 30. You can stop leveling because if you level from 30 to 60, you get a bunch more you get like 30 or 40 more talent points, which primary commanders need those talent points. That you also have to level a commander to 60 in order to bring a full army of troops. Secondary commanders, their talent points don't matter, and the troop size is not affected. The number of troops you can bring in a march is not affected by the level of the secondary commander. The only thing the secondary commanders provide to the march is their skills. So you only have to get to level 30 to unlock the fourth skill, and you can expertise a commander at level 30. So the first thing I see when I look at this is, ooh, okay, the cost of expertising 3 legendary level 60, it makes my stomach turn. Like maybe whales don't care that much, but like, why 6-star YSG? Why 6-star Ethelfled? Like, goodness gracious, like, why not save all those stars? And I got to thinking too, like, how many star differences does it cost to have YSG as a level 30 secondary commander as compared to a level 60 secondary commander? Either way is the same number of sculptures. So I went to look at some of my commanders, and I'll just show you. Because if you go into the interface and you click on this thing, it will show you the cost of upgrading. So at Minamoto, you cannot use universal sculptures. Also, when I go into this, you're going to see, oh, that guy used universals on gold key commanders. And you can judge me if you want, but yeah, I did use a few. But look at this. Okay, so Minamoto took to get a level 60, any level 60 legendary commander. It took, depending on your luck, 518 of these single stars, and I used 14 of these bundles and 7 of these bundles. And maybe you can use a different combination. And 50 million experience. Now let's compare that to another commander. Okay, Mehmed is a secondary. He's a prototypical secondary commander. He can go. He's a leadership commander. So I'm never going to use. He doesn't have the talents. In fact, I haven't even put any talents in him because he's never going to be a primary because he doesn't have the right talent tree. Leadership commanders, like you'd think, like, oh, leadership commanders, they're going to be leading armies. No, they are not. Your armies that are leading armies have the infantry tree, have the cavalry tree, have the archer tree. These are not talent trees that are conducive to leading armies. I mean, Joan does, but she also could be a secondary. But anyway, I'm never going to use Mehmed for a primary commander. So I probably could have stopped at, do I do the math right here? I could have stopped at level 30. Either way, either level 30 or level 40. How many stars do you think it took for me to get 4 stars, which unlocks his 4th skill? I mean, I needed to. I'm not gonna be able to expertise him, for years if I even keep using him. But I wanted to unlock this 4th skill, which gives me more unit capacity, and maybe I have been buying dailies, and maybe I'll keep buying dailies so that I get more heads, and eventually I can get this. Wouldn't it be cool to have 5-5-1-5 Mehmed? That would take amazing luck because I'm never going to use this. I'm never going to probably attack a city. I'm not a whale, so I'm just helping whales attack cities. I'm not doing it myself. Anyway, I got all that to say, how many stars did it take me to get to 5-5-1-1? I leave him at this level. I do not even ever need to put any more stars into him as a secondary. Let's look. 4 stars and 2 stars. And here you see I spent 9 universal heads because I really wanted to get him to 5-5-1-1. And most of the most of the sculptures have been from the daily chest and the gold chest. But look at the star difference: 6 stars, 6 bundles of stars, versus 518 plus 14 is 532. 539 stars, and 14 and 7 bundles. These in the expedition shop where I buy a lot of stars. These are 4,000 points as compared to the 1,000 point. This is an amazing investment of stars in order to get a commander to level 60. That's why you see things like, excuse me, Richard, level 50. He's a giant whale. He would love to have a level 60 Richard. He can't. He ran out of stars. And the reason is because he put all these stars into YSG, put all these stars into Ethelflaed. Cao is a secondary commander. Cao could have stopped leveling 1 star level ago, and he'd have all the stars available to put into Richard, who's a awesome primary commander and will be used for years. That could be level 60. So that's the first thing I see when I see this army. And maybe when someone has 63 million power, they don't care about stars as much. I care about stars. Every star is precious to me. So I care about that, and I think a lot of you watching this should keep a budget of stars and be careful. Like, don't waste 500 stars leveling YSG to level 60. Just don't do it. He's a secondary commander. Okay. That was the first thing I see. Yeah. Also, I saw. Let's see. What I have some notes here. I said, why not pair Sun Tzu with this? Oh yeah, right. That's right. Okay. Sun Tzu is an awesome commander. I love him. I use him. He's my favorite epic. He's many people's favorite epic. But let's look at Sun Tzu and. Okay, commanders. Sun Tzu. Let's look at some of his talents. Sun Tzu, his troops, who he brings, him and his secondary commander, deals 20% more skill damage. Awesome. If you look at some of his talents, whenever the primary commander of this troop uses an active skill, the secondary commander's next skill will deal 6% more skill damage. Okay, 26% so far. This commander's troops deal 3% more skill damage of all types. This commander's troops are also the secondary commander. 29% skill damage. And if we look at Mike here, Joan does no skill damage. It's like, ooh. Like if I were Mike, I would put Sun Tzu secondary commander with a skill damage commander. I think Ethelflaed is a perfect pair for Sun Tzu. Maybe even YSG would be a perfect pair. If you look at YSG, he makes it even better. He makes that skill damage even better. I have not unlocked him yet. I do hope to on the next wheel. But look at his 4th skill. This commander's troops deal 50% more skill damage. Goodness gracious. So if you add Sun Tzu's 29 with another 50, you get 79% skill damage. And probably, maybe there's other stuff you can do too here. Anyway, I think it's a huge waste. All that to say, I think it's a huge waste to not put Sun Tzu with a skill damage commander. I talked yesterday about City Keeper, and I think City Keeper does not help skill damage. In fact, City Keeper's talents penalize a skill damage secondary commander. Let's look at that. I'll show you the talent it is. It's up here. He gets 6% more normal damage from three skill points, from 3 talent points. But also, that comes with a penalty. He deals 3% less skill damage. So, City Keeper is a commander that should be paired with someone who doesn't do skill damage. I talked about that in yesterday's video that I can put as a little tile if I figure out how to do it in YouTube. Yeah, so those were some of the thoughts I had when I see his army. If we look at what his arrangement is, okay, here's his arrangement. The first thing I see Oh goodness, he's 63 million power, but thankfully he is not yet VIP 18. He's VIP 14 because you see he's bringing 105,000 troops. Once he gets to be VIP 18, because that is coming, that day is coming when these whales are going to be VIP 18, and these marches are not going to be 105. They're going to be 120, and that's gonna hurt. Anyway, it's an interesting thing he's done here. He's If we look back at his marches, there's two that like I'm scared of. Like this one, an expertise YSG is like, goodness gracious, it hurts. Expertise YSG really hurts. That's a really scary march, and it's up top. The other march is scary. I mean, maybe not as scary. If this were an expertise cow, he would heal. But my guess is this guy at 63 million power has awesome equipment on his Minamoto. He's probably going to bring his Minamoto out in the open field as KVK is about to start here. He probably has legendary equipment on his Minamoto. So this march is going to do a lot of damage. This march is not scary. Level 50 Richard will last a while. He's going to heal. But he's not expertise, and he's level 50. He's only 5 stars. He's going to... I can overcome this. A level 60 Sun Tzu does some skill damage, but his secondary doesn't. Like the expertise Joan, it provides rage to the whole army. I would like to get rid of that. And then we talked yesterday too. The level 60 Ethelfled, it probably shouldn't be a primary commander. I don't think it's a good primary commander. He probably wishes he had Thutmose to level 60 and Ethelfled to level 40. So these two marches, ideally, I would like to take out first. And look at this. Those two marches are conveniently apart from the rest of the army up top. So, and I don't know, I haven't fought this guy before. So he's out of my kingdom, so I don't have any experience fighting him. But what my thought was, let's try and burn this down. Let's see if we can take out both these. And City Keeper yesterday held up so well when I did the same kind of thing. Yesterday, City Keeper held up against 4 marches pretty well. And the level 50 Richard is not too bad. The level 60 Sun is going to do some damage. This Ethelfled is going to do some debuff, and the Thutmose is going to do some damage. But let's and especially because they're archers against the infantry, and these archers are going to counter my infantry, which is a bummer. But I would like to kill Martel and YSG quickly because I'm scared of YSG. So that's my priority here. Let's go do the match and see how it goes. One of these times, I promise you, I'm going to go into this all confident and talk like I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to lose. And that's just the way the game works. It's okay. So we're going to challenge him. Oh, I got a challenge from this screen. So he was, what was he? He was like level 19 or something. I got to refresh this enough times until I find him. 18. This is him, right? Yeah, this is him. Challenge. Okay. So my goal is Sun Tzu in the front, Minamoto in the back, Joan here, and Thutmose here. Yeah, and then City Keeper here. These marches, when they're not in line, because Minamoto doesn't do any AOE. Sometimes I try to the march right in front is going to take more damage, but the damage in this case is going to come from YSG. The AOE is circular. It probably doesn't matter. It's so fun. One of the most fun things for me is trotting out a green commander against a whale and winning. So let's see if we can. Here we go. My hope is City Keeper stays alive long enough for us to eliminate both these two marches. And I don't know if that's going to be the case. But one thing that's beautiful about this arrangement, Ethelfled rotated up. So Ethelfled, and look at that half cone. That's Ethelfled. And then the smaller cone is Thutmose. That's only affecting City Keeper. So Martel's going down. Faster, Martel. Go down faster, sir. 133. Martel's out of there. Great. Now let's see how long it takes to get the Minamoto out. 128. Those are great numbers. City Keeper stayed up for both of those, which was great. And now it's kind of chaos. Like when they come out of that, it's like you never know who you're gonna get. But we were to eliminate the two marches I cared about. We traded for City Keeper, which is an awesome trade. And now we're left with these two marches that are good, but they're not special. They're not special. Like the YSG was special, and we eliminated him quickly. So it's pretty cool. Let's see if we can end this with 4 marches still up against the number 2 most powerful player in the 4 Kingdom group. We did! Awesome. Awesome. So let's see how much damage YSG did. Okay, see, we won this, I think, because we contained the damage that YSG did. Letting Sun Tzu do 95,000 kills, that's okay. I'll take it. I'll take this. Because we got to eliminate... Dang. We got Minamoto out of there so quickly. I don't know how Minamoto... I wonder if the debuff from Imhotep caused Minamoto to do so little damage. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So the way he could correct that is not let me target his 2 most powerful marches with 4 marches. My Minamoto did really well there. My Sun Tzu did great. Even the Joan pulled her fair share. And City Keeper, all of this came from, well, not all. A lot of this came from Scipio's counterattack damage. So that was great. That was a really great match. I'm really happy about that. So who do I have next? I have the second player that I want is this guy. His power is 99.2 million. Oh, this is the second most powerful player. The other guy was... Well, let's actually look because I care. Yeah, let's go look. This was Mike. Rankings. Individual power. Mike was number 7. That player was 63.4 million power. I am proud to be 117th in power in my 4 Kingdom group. And I am still ahead of Logic Bank, though. I'm barely ahead of a free-to-play player. So, I don't know. Being 117th and taking out number 6, and hopefully we can take out, or he's number 7, and hopefully we can take out number 2 next. Let's go look. Let's go see if we can do it. Okay, campaign, Lost Canyon. So he is number 5 in Lost Canyon. Let's see if we can challenge him. Yeah, it lets us. Okay, here it is. Oh, I actually put this in a PowerPoint as well for your pleasure. Okay, so when I look at this, he has Expertise Legendary, Expertise Legendary, Expertise. Okay, he expertised his Cao. So this is what I like to see. I think he's really smart in this. He kept his Cao at level 40, expertised him, and saved all those stars. So that's good. That's good. And he has Joan. So Martel doesn't need to have a secondary who does skill damage. And Joan doesn't need a primary that does skill damage. Smart. This is smart. I like this team. These whales, as they progress up in VIP 14 early, they often buy the VIP chests that are available for dollars to spend as an easy way. It's not cheap. It's an easy way to get expertise legendaries. So that's how he got Hannibal expertised. He still had to spend the stars, but he got the sculptors by paying straight US dollars. Same with Minamoto, but there's no shame in that. I think Minamoto is totally worth it. I think Hannibal is not worth it. So I think a level 51 Hannibal, not very scary. He kept his Ethelfled as a secondary. Smart. Let's see. Yeah, his expertise Cao is going to heal all these cavalry. That'll be a handful. And remember, he's the number 2 in power in the kingdom. He has 99 million power. His Minamoto is going to be awesome. So that's going to be a handful. That's going to be a handful. Pyrrhus is level 50, Hannibal's level 51, Thutmose is 50. So these three, I think, are vulnerable to being killed quicker. That's basically what comes out of this. This guy's smart. He's done good pairings. He probably isn't getting as much. I think a Sun Tzu here would probably be better. It would probably cost him less stars too, and maybe he could have gotten his Thutmose to level 60 if instead he had used not city. I'm fixated on City Keeper. If instead he used Sun Tzu here, I think that probably would have been better. But let's look at his arrangement. Okay, he has the Pyrrhus that I just said I wasn't scared about. Level 50 Pyrrhus. It does come with the level 43 Richard, so that does make Pyrrhus better. But his Pyrrhus that I don't really care about is off in the corner here. He wants to attract attention up there. His Martel, does he have a YSG? He doesn't. His Martel is a strong tank here with Joan. It would be great to eliminate this Martel and get to the Thutmose. The Hannibal is not scary, remember. We need to worry about this Minamoto. I don't know why he has one siege with it. Often you put one siege with the front row commander, so it slows him down, so the Minamoto hits exactly the same time, or even ahead. I've even seen marches where the back row commander gets to the other side faster, and maybe that's what he's worried about. He's worried about his Minamoto reaching the other side faster than the Hannibal does, but it's okay because even if Minamoto gets there faster, the other side will still target the Hannibal first. So I think it might be better to not have this siege here, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, we need to get to this Minamoto. So we need to kill his Hannibal, which thankfully the Hannibal is only level 51. So we're going to target this lower march, and we're going to put as few little as possible up here. There has been times when recently, when I put 4 marches on this to take it out. I don't think I want to do that. I did make a PowerPoint plan here. Yeah, this is good. So I'm going to put my best damage dealer here, Sun Tzu, in the front, on the Hannibal to try and take out the Hannibal. Minamoto behind Sun Tzu would actually do more damage, but I want to use Thutmose, and I might regret this, and I'll take your comments and feedback on the comments below. But I put Thutmose behind him because Thutmose is going to rotate down and then blast upward. If I put Thutmose up here, he's going to rotate down and only target 2. Whereas if I have Thutmose at the bottom, he's going to rotate down and potentially will target all 4. I would be able to get to Minamoto faster with more damage by targeting him with my Minamoto, but let's do this. And one nice thing about using Joan closer to the City Keeper is kind of in the middle. There's pros and cons. You often want Sun Tzu in the middle, but in this case, I want City Keeper to get the buff. So I put put Joan up higher. So yeah, let's go do this and see how it goes. Let's fight him. So he's number 5. I'm looking for number 5. Refresh. Here he is. Right, so City Keeper's going to go here, Joan's going to go there, Sun Tzu's going to go here, and we want Sun Tzu to take out Hannibal as quickly as possible to get to the Minamoto. Yeah, I have second thoughts about using the archers because the archers are going to be less effective against the Minamoto, but as long as Sun Tzu stays up long enough for Hannibal to die, Minamoto will keep targeting Sun Tzu and protect the archers. It would be a bummer if his Minamoto can kill my Sun Tzu and then immediately get to my archers because his cavalry will counter my archers. But let's watch this and see how it goes. We don't care. We kind of ignore that up there. It doesn't matter. We need to see how much damage Minamoto is going to do to Sun Tzu. We need these two to kill Hannibal before Sun Tzu dies because we cannot let... Oh, dang. It's going to be close. We can't let Minamoto 1v1 my archers. Oh shoot. This this might go badly for me. We needed Hannibal to die faster than this. Okay, now we got we didn't get through to Hannibal. Bummer. Okay, we probably needed Minamoto. We probably needed Minamoto on Hannibal to get rid of him sooner, because that Minamoto still has a lot of health left. Might have to redo this one. Let's see. Because that Minamoto is wrecking me. I might be able to pull it out. It's 4v2. It might be okay. Gotta kill the Minamoto. Gotta kill the Minamoto. Come on. Come on. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Too strong. Too strong. Okay, we had to kill the Minamoto faster than that. Let's do it again. Let's rearrange that. We learned our lesson. And let's see what the stats are, like how much the Minamoto did. Yeah. The Minamoto did a lot of damage. The Pyrus did a lot of damage too, but it was only City Keeper. Let's do one more. And let's put this time let's put the Minamoto. Let's put the Minamoto on Hannibal. Hannibal held up longer than I thought he would. Yeah, I thought Hannibal would die faster than that. And let's let this go back further to give him a little more time. Okay. This time we need my Minamoto to kill his Hannibal faster. Let's see if it works. I'd hoped to save that third challenge to get into third place, but that's okay. I've got to beat this guy. I should be able to beat this guy. So now we're targeting this Hannibal with this Minamoto and Mehmed. And already Hannibal is going down faster, which is great. Hannibal needs to die before Sun Tzu dies for this strategy to work. And he will. He will. That's good. That's good. Great. Hannibal's gone. Now we got to get out Minamoto. We can't let Minamoto kill 130,000 again. Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is much stronger performance. Okay, I learned a good lesson there. So my Minamoto 1v1 on his red Minamoto, and now my Minamoto can come up and help. This should be okay. This should be okay. And I need to take out the Thutmose and have enough health left over to go help on Pyrus, because City Keeper is not going to be able to take him out, which we didn't expect. We didn't expect that. But now I can 3v1 the Pyrus. It's just the Richard heals and 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 heals. He's super annoying to take out. But I have 2v1. Let's see if it'll be enough. Yeah, looks like it. Looks like it. The Richard heals less once the Thutmose debuff gets on him. Cool. That's cool. So let's see. This time, remember last time, let's actually look at the stats. On the last battle, history. His Minamoto did 136,000 kills. This time, because we changed the arrangement, his Minamoto did 81,000 kills, and that was the difference. Yeah, his Pyrus and Richard killed a ton. If I were to do it again, if I were to try to optimize this and go a third time, I might even put my Thutmose, find a way to get Thutmose onto Richard faster, so he's not healing 42,000 troops. Because I'm not just killing 105,000 troops. I've got to kill 147,000 troops, which is a bigger task. So in the future, when I fight Richard again, I'll probably put Thutmose onto Richard faster, so he doesn't get this giant healing burden that I have to go then and kill. Um, okay, I ran out of challenges. You know what? I might go buy one. Just this is probably not a great use of your gems, people. Do not follow my example. But I'm out of challenges, and I would like to get back into third place. It's not even that many more. It's like 6 more of coins per hour. But I also just like being in third place. So let's challenge. We're going to pay 100 gems. And next time we do it, it'll cost 150. So yeah, we're going to go and fight this guy to get back into third place. Yeah, I actually prepared a PowerPoint for this again. Okay, what do you see here? So we see YSG, level 39. Smart. Didn't try and get him level 60. We see a player that probably is weaker than the past two. And I think this player, let's go look at him. He's less power. So he's not comparable because he's 22 million power. So he's actually in my power range, a little bit 3 million ahead of me. But a totally different caliber of team. A 20 million power cannot feel the same strength of legendaries as a 99 million power team. So he has a level 48 Martel paired with Scipio. I love this pairing. I love this pairing. He does have a level. I wonder why he has an expertise to buy bars. This player is probably not going hardcore. Again, it's the level 60 Ethelflood, which I think Ethelflood's a better secondary. Here's what I probably would do a little differently. I would put, well, I guess the reason for this arrangement is his Sun Tzu's level 34. If his Sun Tzu were level 52, 55, 50, 60 would be best, but I'd probably put Sun Tzu Ethelflood together and then buy bars along. Buy bars is a great talent tree for Cav. So I do want buy bars to be a primary. I want Sun Tzu to be a primary. I want Richard. I want Kusu. I don't want Ethelflood to be the primary. So I'd probably put Sun Tzu Ethelflood and buy bars YSG. Would probably be better pairings there. Yeah, he wasted on. I mean, players play hard. I shouldn't talk badly. But I wouldn't have put so many stars. We talked earlier in the video about how many stars it took to get to Ethelflood level 60. I think those are wasted. I think it would have been better to save those stars and put them on Richard. And Richard becomes a level 60. Another way I look at this, how would you compare these two options? Level 48, non-expertise Charles Martel versus, for half the price, maybe not quite half the price, maybe 60% of the price, he could have had a level 60, 6-starred City Keeper. And that's what I have for this March. I have level 60 City Keeper with an expertise Scipio. My argument is don't try to level so many legendaries. Level 1 to 60. Get your Minamoto to 60. Or your Richard to 60. That's great. Once she's there, then go to the next commander. Don't leave one at 48, one at 50. I don't know. I probably will use now the flip side of what I just said. I've now used City Keeper for too long. I didn't start working on Martel quickly enough. I am now. He's level 46 now, and I can't use him until he gets into the 50s. Maybe when I get to 55, I can use him. So that's when I look at that. I see he used too many stars on Ethelflood, so it hurt his Richard development. And the level 48 commander at KVK, I in Lost Canyon, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it. I would wait and put, if you have to, put a City Keeper there. Put a a different commander there. Don't trot out a level 48 commander. But let's look at his arrangement. Okay, he has that Martel. Oh, I fought this guy. This is the guy I've been fighting back and forth. Okay, yeah. So the way he has his level 48 commander up in the upper right, and the way I targeted him, and let's look at the AOE. So no AOE has AOE buff, but no damage AOE. 2 March AOE, strong AOE. 2 March AOE, strong AOE. 2 March AoE, strong AoE. A level 60 Ethelflaed and level 39 YSG, that's going to be a lot of AoE. So we need to watch out for the AoE. Where is it? Ethelflaed's in the back, Bybar's in the front. And the way I might have even made a video a couple of days ago when I first got into Lost Canyon, I actually was worried about all this AoE down here. And what I did was put this arrangement. I put Joan at the back with the hope that these 2 marches would rush across the field. Ethelflaed would turn up, and she does, and then only target 1 march. And all the other 4 marches can stay out of the Ethelflaed AoE, and potentially the 4 marches can stay out of the Bybar's AoE as well. That was what I tried to do, and what I have been doing, because I've been going back and forth with this player, and I have been using this arrangement. If we look, and then City Keeper and Thutmose, they're going up to target the Martel. The Martel is 48, so they're able to be pretty successful up there and then come down and help. If we look at the stats from that, because I fought this maybe 5 times. The stats from that, when I do that fight, I have 3 marches still up, which is cool. But Ethelflaed YSG, despite my goal of turning that march so it only affects 1 march, it still is it does the most kills. So I can win with this march. I've been doing it the last few days. But for the purpose of the video, to add some intrigue and to make it more exciting for me, I'm going to change and try to do something different. What if I kind of ignore, again, this, just like I have been doing so far today, I kind of ignore this 48 Martel. I always forget who he's with. He's with Scipio. This march is going to do very little damage, except this march does a lot of counterattack damage. But what if I then just put City Keeper up there and only target with 1 march and save that until the end and put all the most damage dealers I can. And I learned my lesson in the last match. I don't want to put Thutmose down here, put Minamoto down here, and try to take out this AoE. Because Ethelflaed's a weaker primary. Richard's going to do all this healing again, but look what I've done now. I've learned my lesson from the last match. Thutmose is now going to target Richard. So the whole match, Thutmose is going to be on Richard, and he is going to reduce the healing. So hopefully Richard will not get 46,000 troops healed again on this march. Yeah, great. And archers counter infantry anyway. So let's try that. Let's go do my last fight here. And if I lose and I have to go back to the previous arrangement, I have to spend 150 gems, which is a bummer. I don't really want to spend another 150 gems. See, now the only options I have are anybody ahead of me. So let's challenge him. So, yep, I'm going to put City Keeper up there. That's great. Yep, I actually have this arrangement. Did I just do this exact same? I did. I just did this exact same arrangement. But on the last fight, remember, Richard was up here, and Richard healed so many because I only had City Keeper. This time, Richard is here, and I have my archers across from him. So, we are going to watch this bottom row and decide whether it's worth it to fight them or whether it's worth it to just keep a march clear in the back and let them march across and rotate up and avoid them. We're going to check. We'll check the 2 different stats and see which one's better. So he's going to plod his way up here. We need to kill Bybars quickly, and we have infantry to target cavalry. Thankfully, this YSG, if this YSG were expertise, all 4 of my marchers would be getting hit by YSG. In this case, only these 2 are getting whacked by YSG. But the Bybars is going down pretty quick, and as soon as that goes down, 131, Bybars is gone. Now, these 2 monster damage dealers that I have get to target Ethelflaed, who's not very tanky. Oh, while I wasn't looking, Richard got killed. That's great. So this is a far superior arrangement because Richard got killed so fast because he had Thutmose on him. And YSG got killed at 109. I still have all 5 marches up. Yeah, this is a far superior arrangement. I made a video about like how clever I was turning AoE away from me and only taking it with one march. But with this new arrangement, it's far better. I was able to beat it with 5 marches up remaining. Let's count. Let's look at the stats. Yeah, remember the last match? 45,000. This time, Richard healed 11,000. And he's not expertise, so it's not really a fair comparison. Um, but this is a far superior arrangement. So again, let's look at what team. I have one more point to make. Let's look at what his team was. He could only trot out a level 48 Martel, but I wonder what would have happened if this 48 Martel were actually a level 60 City Keeper. That would be my advice to him. You can't go back in time, but it probably would have been better to have a level 60 6-star Richard and keep the City Keeper. I've talked about City Keeper so many times. I was just talking about Logic Bank. Logic Bank really pioneered this concept of solving the star problem by using City Keeper for the early game up into KVK1. And if you want to learn more about that strategy, I would recommend reading and viewing Logic Bank's videos. You can search City Keeper talents are okay. You can search in YouTube. You can search for anything about City Keeper. You'll see all these videos. They're all great. It solves the star problem by letting you level up one or level up fewer legendaries and still have a good tank. So I hope that helps you guys. I'll come back tomorrow, I hope, with another video. I'm actually going to talk tomorrow about talents more. And someone asked a question about what talent trees I use on my primary commanders. I'm going to make a video about that hopefully tomorrow or the next day. But thanks so much for sticking around this long. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your alliance about the series. I think it'll help them. All right, thanks again. Bye-bye.